Title: I regret cheating, it wasn't worth it. I can't even recall the guy's name, it was just a random one-night stand with some guy I met at a bar. The moment he was inside me, I felt an overwhelming sense of regret. Hi everybody! I'm leading a goal of 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I truly believe we can achieve it together. So if you could hit that subscribe button, it would really mean a lot to me. Now, let's dive into the story. I cheated on a wonderful guy years ago, and I saw him yesterday, which made me realize that betraying him was the worst mistake of my life. It all started when I met this guy in college. At first, we hooked up without any strings attached. We didn't really have much of a friendship, it was just physical. As time went on, we began to hang out more, and we realized we actually liked each other. We flirted with the idea of dating for a few months, but never followed through because we both wanted to enjoy our freedom in college. About a year after we met and after establishing our friendship, he asked me out. I was really into him, so despite enjoying the hookup culture at school, I chose to date him. However, a few months into our relationship, I cheated. I can't even remember the other guy's name, it was just a random fling with someone I met at a bar. The instant we started having sex, I felt a rush of regret. It wasn't worth it at all. Back then, I was naive about consent and felt obligated to continue. I did, but the next day, I told my boyfriend what happened. I'll never forget the expression of disappointment and pain on his face. He broke up with me that day, and it took years to get over him. I built him up in my mind, idealizing him, and I realized now that it was unhealthy. Thanks to therapy, I was finally able to move on. Now I'm 30, and I've tried to build a new life, and I'm sure he has too. Then, completely out of the blue, I bumped into him at Barnes & Noble yesterday. The moment I saw him, I was overwhelmed. I went up to say hello, and we ended up spending the entire day together catching up. We even went out for dinner last night. All day, I found myself looking for reasons to convince myself that he wasn't as great as I remembered, hoping to find some flaw or deal-breaker, but I couldn't find anything. We exchanged numbers, and now I'm dying to call him and ask him out, but I'm also terrified of his response. I was young and foolish and didn't understand what I had. Cheating on him was a grave error, and I truly wish I could take it back. Wow, let me share my thoughts. Honestly, I wasn't surprised when she said they decided to start dating, but then, shortly after, she cheated. It makes sense she wanted to maintain her freedom in college, she mentioned it earlier. Yet, she found him so attractive that she went ahead anyway. The moment she cheated, she regretted it instantly. Why wasn't she regretting it when they were kissing, hugging, or flirting? Why did regret kick in only when they were intimate? Was it not as fulfilling as she had imagined? If it had lived up to her expectations, would she still regret it? Probably not. Now that she's 30, she wants to settle down and wishes she had done so with him. Out of nowhere, she runs into him. Remember that other story I shared a few weeks back? Someone ran into their ex at a diner. It's almost like fate, or could it be stalking? I wouldn't put it past her. Now they've exchanged numbers. Let's check out the comments. There's an update on this, so we'll look at that too, but first, let's see what people are saying. One commenter noted that many posters here haven't dealt with situations as complex as this or haven't experienced a real relationship. Reddit can be quick to judge and shame cheaters without recognizing that people make mistakes. Let's pause there. She felt regret as soon as he was inside her, not when they kissed or flirted, but only when the physical act was happening. Someone else mentioned that a single bad action doesn't define a person. Mature adults can overcome their mistakes. I agree, people can change. It's up to him to decide, but he can't make a choice without knowing how she feels. Even if he doesn't want to get back together, expressing her feelings could bring closure. I noticed that many commenters who slammed her for cheating have their comments deleted, which is interesting. Yet those encouraging her to reach out to him seem to have intact comments. One person remarked that if he had any self-respect, he'd leave her behind, suggesting one flaw he might have. Another commenter stated that it's no surprise she's 30 and still single, saying she made her choice and must live with it. She replied, "Not single anymore," with a playful emoji. Now let's check out the update. I found it because the original was removed, but I managed to track it down. The update is about the guy I cheated on in college. I decided to call him as many of you suggested. The worst he could say was no, and I'd be back where I started. I thought the risk was worth the reward. So I called him and started to explain my regret, and before I could finish, he suggested we talk in person and asked me to come over. We sat down in my kitchen and talked it out. I shared everything, including my therapy journey, wanting to be completely honest. Thankfully, he was understanding. I hope he's not plotting revenge. He mentioned he enjoyed our day together, so I decided to be direct and asked him out. Long story short, I'm currently making us breakfast and couldn't be happier. Wow, what a twist! She ran into him at Barnes & Noble. What are the odds? I feel like he was naive to return to her. It seems she hasn't matured, and here's why. Someone previously commented that she's single because of her past actions. She created this situation for herself. Yet, she brushes it off with a playful emoji, which strikes me as childish. It's clear she hasn't really changed. I can't fathom why he would believe she's different now. As for her, she probably pretended to casually bump into him. "Oh hey. Is that you, Sarah? Hi. I hardly noticed you. Oh, buying a book? Cool." And just walks away. Or maybe gives a fake number or her number, intending never to respond. One person commented, "I hope he knows what he's getting into. If he were my friend, I'd shake him and tell him he's making a foolish choice." Another noted that past behavior is often the best predictor of future actions. Seriously, Reddit can't be this naive. People can change with age. It's a beautiful aspect of humanity. The ability to grow and develop new habits is incredible. One commenter emphasized that past behavior isn't always indicative of future behavior. Another stated that people can evolve, they can regret their past actions and genuinely want to improve. One person recalled being a serial cheater at 19 but changed by 21, showing that growth is possible. Wow, that's great to hear. It's wonderful that he's giving her another chance. Let's hope they communicate well and find happiness together. So, what are your thoughts on this? I'm curious to hear your opinions. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content. Turn on notifications to stay updated on my latest posts. See you next time.